easily the best purchase that I've made in 2022. Stay tuned. What's up, fragrance family? It's Neeb with Aromatics. Today's video is the best purchase of 2022, Niche Realm. This fragrance, honestly, is probably my favorite niche fragrance at the time of making this video. It was also backup bottle worthy. I bought 2 of these fragrances at the high price point. Yes, sometimes you gotta make sacrifices for things that you love. And this fragrance is exactly that. I love it. It's an absolute love. This is an absolute must-have. If you ask me what niche fragrance do you recommend I purchase, this is gonna be the one. 100% easily #1 niche fragrance in my collection at the time of making this video. And this comes from a brand that really focuses a lot on the presentation, from the plaque to the bottle to the cap. And I'm sure it'll come as no surprise to many of you that this company is known as Argos. Argos Fragrances is absolutely one of the best brands out there in terms of presentation, in terms of quality, in terms of juice, everything, man, from A to Z. Before I get started and show you the bottle, let's start with the box. So in the package, or in the box, I should say, I received a couple of items. It wasn't just a fragrance. I received a nice looking pouch like this. It's a velvet pouch and it's really nice, man. The quality here is just absolutely gorgeous. And inside this pouch is where the actual fragrance box laid. And this is what the box looks like. So if you're not familiar with Argos fragrances, a lot of their fragrances are inspired by Greek mythology, hence the painting here. So if you're interested, you could take a look at the backstory and the background of Argos fragrances and how they come up with these paintings and what they resemble. Each one has its own little story and it's just honestly phenomenal in terms of presentation. So let's take a look at this box. And this is Adonis Awakens. The front looks like that. We have that gold raised, side looks like so. And on the back, we have some ingredient lists. And it's all a continuation of the actual painting here. Inside the box, it's also another box. So these are pretty much double boxed. And on the inside, we have another case looking box that's also magnetic with a flap here. And look at the details, man. This looks like a vinyl box. And then you pop open the flap with the magnet there. And inside rests the fragrance. Obviously, this is a velvet-like cutout. And then we have the story here of Argos's Adonis Awakens. So you have a full story here. If you'd like to read the story, maybe you could pause the video at this time. And then we also have the notes here. So notes of this fragrance include top notes of bergamot, grapefruit, pink pepper. We have heart notes of Bulgarian rose, Sambec jasmine, vanilla, raspberry. And then at the base, you see we have that sandalwood, cashmere, and rose absolute. So before I start with the opening of this fragrance, I want to just emphasize that this fragrance revolves around, I would rather say, probably 3 notes for me. It's not that simple. It's not a fragrance that does this one-dimensional. This is a beautiful, multi-dimensional fragrance that just performs, smells amazing, smells rich, smells like money, smells classy. This fragrance checks off every single box in terms of what I look for in a fragrance. So is it a little bit sweet? Yes. Is it mass appealing? Yes. Does it perform? Absolutely. And that's just a little bit of a teaser. So let's get into the actual fragrance itself. So we spoke about the notes here, and before we do that, take a look at this gorgeous bottle, man. This bottle is absolutely stunning. We have that plaque at the front of the bottle. We have the cutout. This is very, very thick glass, embossed Argos on the bottom here. The cap is a nice frosted matte looking gold. On the back is nothing there, guys, and neither on any of the sides. So there's the bottom. Let me start off by saying that this is a unisex fragrance. It's not necessarily masculine or feminine, but I will say that I enjoy wearing this and I tend to enjoy more masculine fragrances. So maybe it's a slight touch edge of a masculine side of things, but it will do perfectly fine on either gender. So let's go ahead and do this opening here. Here we go. Atomizer is best in its class. Look at that. Right off of the top, I get Rose Absolute and Rose. So the Rose Absolute is just unmatched. You can't compare it really with just your standard rose note. This is the most dense form of a rose note that you will smell. That in combination with pink peppercorn is absolutely gorgeous. There's that sandalwood that complements it, and I'm detecting all of these right off of the top. I don't really get too much of any fruits at the opening there. There is a slight bit of freshness at the top, but it's so well blended that you can't really differentiate and be like, okay, I smell some bergamot and grapefruit. I think that's just there to kind of nose grab in the opening of the fragrance. But mostly Bulgarian rose, you get touches of jasmine, raspberry, and vanilla. Raspberry is very prominent. Raspberry, rose, sandalwood, and the pink peppercorn, 100%. What I really feel like dominates the top of the fragrance is that rose, pink peppercorn, raspberry, and vanilla. Gorgeous fragrance. And then it starts to get creamy and smooth at the same time. We have that cashmere wood, which gives it this nice kind of fuzziness, the smoothness, and then the sandalwood, which just makes this so creamy. It's almost borderline gourmand. This Rose Absolute, and I mean, I love this fragrance. This is, like I said, this is number one. So this is just has me going absolutely bonkers. This fragrance, like I said, I purchased 2 of them. And honestly, I might even purchase a 3rd. So you better stock up before I do. Let me paint a picture for you guys. Exactly what this fragrance reminds me of. Think of a photorealistic raspberry cotton candy that you would get at a carnival, and you just got done with some clean, fresh linens. You just finished doing your laundry, and it's just the best, the richest detergent, and it's nice and warm, and you have that cotton candy that was just spun, literally just spun raspberry cotton candy and clean linens. This is just man, not only is it a panty dropper, but it's a boxer dropper. So boxer's dropper worthy, and for you men out there, this is absolutely panty dropper performance. So performance on this sucker is beastly, maybe even godly. This gave me easily 12 hours, and on clothes I smelt it for 2 days. On skin, 8 to 12 hours. I could still smell it at the 9-hour mark. It just got a little bit closer to my skin. The first 3 hours, this will scream, and it screams in such an amazing way. It's not too abrasive of a fragrance, but you don't want to go crazy heavy on this because of that rose and the sweetness, but it's absolutely gorgeous. The sillage, easily 6 to 10 feet. I kid you not, guys, this is my personal story. Walked into the USPS, was delivering some fragrances, of course. Gentleman in the back came out, and I'm pretty sure he had to have been at least 12 feet in the back. And he came out, and I put him on Argos fragrances, and I'm pretty sure he purchased one right there on the spot. So that's my personal experience. That's what I can attest as far as the performance. This is a screamer. This is a beast worth every penny. Occasions and seasons. So seasons for this sucker, honestly, I gave it some testings in the summertime. It did fairly well, but I wouldn't necessarily wear this in the high heat just because it does have some of those sweet traits and the rose. This is a pretty denser type of fragrance, but you can get away with it in the 70s, maybe even the absolute low 80s with maybe a moderation of 2 to 3 sprays. But mostly, this is gonna absolutely destroy everyone's fragrance in the fall time. They won't even be noticed when you're wearing this one. Wintertime as well. You are going to stand out from the crowd. People will notice you, and they'll just start drooling, because I am. I know I am right now. So absolutely, easily, number 1 of 2022 niche fragrance purchase. Argos Fragrances, Adonis Awakens. I should be a spokesperson and a salesman for Argos Fragrances after making this video, but hey, your boy is just Neeb with aromatics. So if you enjoyed watching this video, please consider hitting that subscribe button for much more content just like this to come. I hope you enjoyed watching this video half as much as I did making it. Peace.